All right, hello and welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to unpack a really dense and fascinating piece of research called the Calcified Citadel. It lays out a hidden history connecting biology, public policy, and even declassified intelligence files in a way I'm betting you've never heard before.
So, right off the bat, the material hits us with this central question. A tiny gland in your brain, your tap water, and CIA files, what could they possibly have in common? The source invites us to follow a trail of evidence, almost like a forensic investigation, and see where it leads.
Okay, so where do we even begin with this? Well, according to the investigation laid out in the source, the first piece of the puzzle is the target. We're zooming way in, deep inside the human brain, to a tiny but incredibly important structure. And we're talking about the pineal gland. You've probably heard of it. Its main job, as established by science, is to produce melatonin. But as you can see here, it's way more than just a sleep hormone. It's really the body's master clock, helping to regulate everything from your energy levels to your immune system. It's crucial. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. The source points out this unique vulnerability. Most of your brain tissue is protected by what's called the blood-brain barrier. It's like a bouncer for your brain. But the pineal gland, it doesn't have that protection. It's totally exposed. And on top of that, it has the second highest blood flow in the entire body. So it basically acts like a sponge for whatever is floating around in your bloodstream. And because of that sponge-like nature, this can happen, pineal calcification. The source material argues that this isn't just a normal part of getting older. It reframes it as a specific disease process, a pathology, where these little phosphate crystals build up inside the gland and actually hurt its ability to produce that all-important melatonin. Okay, so if the pineal gland is the target, then what's the weapon? This is where the investigation brings in the second piece of the puzzle, and it turns its focus to one of the most widespread chemicals in our environment today, fluoride. And the research really focuses on these two, completely different stories about fluoride. On one side, you have the official narrative most of us know. It's a public health miracle, right? Prevents cavities. But on the other side, the source points to a much messier origin story, that it started as an untreated industrial waste product from making things like aluminum and fertilizer. So let's look at this timeline, because the research argues this overlap is just too significant to be a coincidence. At the exact same time the Manhattan Project is secretly worried about fluoride's effect on the central nervous system, the first public water fluoridation trial kicks off. And just a few years later, as you can see, a key safety study is censored while the government endorses putting it in water nationwide. And if you want to see the intent, the report points to this. This is a direct quote, declassified from the archives, from the Manhattan Project's own chief toxicologist. He's literally saying, the plan is to use fluoride's benefits for teeth as a PR tool to counteract public fear about it. Okay, so how does this all circle back to the pineal gland, our original target? Well, the source cites research indicating that fluoride has a special attraction to the pineal gland. It builds up there more than in any other soft tissue in the body. And it's this accumulation, the source claims, that kicks off that destructive cycle of calcification we talked about. All right, this brings us to the third and, frankly, most controversial part of this whole investigation, the motive. I mean, why would any powerful group or agency be interested in a substance that could mess with the pineal gland? To find a possible answer, the report looks at what the CIA was up to during this very same time period. The report introduces Project MKUltra, and let's be crystal clear, this isn't a conspiracy theory. This was a real, top-secret CIA program. Its existence is a documented historical fact, confirmed by thousands of declassified records. Its official goal was to find chemical ways to control what people think and do. And just look at what they were trying to achieve. These are their own stated goals, taken from the MKUltra documents that survived. Promote illogical thinking, make people more dependent, create confusion, literally alter someone's personality. The source argues that these goals line up disturbingly well with the exact symptoms you'd see in someone with a compromised melatonin-deficient pineal gland. And don't for a second think this was some small backroom project. We're talking about 149 sub-projects. 149. It was a massive operation involving 86 different universities, hospitals, and institutions. And they often tested these things on people who had no idea they were subjects.
The report presents this scale as proof of just how serious they were about these goals. So, you're probably asking, okay, where's the memo that says let's use fluoride on the pineal gland? Well, according to the official record, you're probably never going to find it. Why? Because in 1973, the CIA director at the time ordered all the MK Ultra files to be destroyed. The source argues that because the primary evidence was intentionally erased, we have to build a circumstantial case with the documents that did survive. Okay, so after laying out this pretty heavy problem, the source doesn't just leave us hanging. The final section pivots to solutions. It basically asks, if you take this line of reasoning seriously, what can an individual actually do to respond and support the health of this vital gland? The source material proposes a pretty straightforward two-part strategy to start. Step 1 is about elimination. It recommends stopping the intake of what it identifies as the primary toxin, so fluoride from tap water and toothpaste. Step 2 is about reevaluating calcium, suggesting a move away from synthetic pills and toward organic whole food sources to avoid the risk of it calcifying in the wrong places. Building on that foundation, the report then lists several substances it refers to as aiding agents. You can see some of them here, things like turmeric, iodine, and vitamin K2. The research cited in the source suggests these might play a role in either helping to slow down the calcification process or even helping the body break down deposits that are already there. But, and this is a really important but, the source includes a crucial warning. It stresses that because the supplement market is largely unregulated, it's absolutely vital for you, the consumer, to do your homework. Seek out high-purity products that have been tested by a third party to make sure you're getting what you pay for and avoiding junk additives. And so the research leaves us with this final provocative question. It's simple, but it's a big one. If modern dental science suggests that fluoride's main benefit for teeth is topical, from direct contact, then why, it asks, do we continue with a policy of mass ingestion? Swallowing it means it becomes systemic, traveling through your entire body to every organ. It's the central question the source leaves us all to think about. Thanks for joining us for this explainer.